What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of 101 Sports and Cards. Always, I'm Nathan Holloway, with me, Church.
What's up?
We're starting the NFL, where the 49ers are listening to trades for Brandon Aiyuk. The Browns and Steelers are interested. Apparently, for the 49ers and the Steelers, 49ers are interested in either one of Pat Freiermuth, which I don't know why, because they don't need a tight end, or George Pickens. The Steelers are clearly not interested in giving up either one of them, because that would be stupid. The Patriots and Commanders were interested, but they have backed out of trade talks because the 49ers went way too much. A lot of people thought he'd go to the Commanders because him and Jaden Daniels played together at Arizona State. They're also really good friends, but clearly the Commanders don't want to give the 49ers what they want. They probably also don't want to pay Aiyuk the money that he wants because he thinks he's a top 5 wide receiver in the game, and he's not even the best wide receiver on the 49ers because it's Debo. The Bears beat the Texans in a weather-shortened Hall of Fame game. It's a great battle between Davis Mills, who played great, and Tyson Bagent played like a drive. But football's back. Week 1 of the preseason begins tomorrow. There will be some QBs actually out. Jordan Love is playing for the Packers. Jaden Daniels and Drake May are supposed to play for their teams. There's a possibility we see Caleb Williams for the first time. Justin Herbert is injured. He's in a walking boot. Apparently he's supposed to be ready for week 1. So it doesn't really matter because the Chargers aren't going to be that good anyway. Although people believe that they are because of Jim Harbaugh.
Do every year.
It's the worst team they've had in a long time. And I believe Joey Bosa already left practice with an injury, which doesn't surprise anybody. So we have 3 weeks left of me grading off seasons. Of course, that final week I will grade the final 2 AFC West teams, and we'll also give our NFL predictions for the upcoming season because that will be the last week of the preseason. So today is the Titans and Jaguars. The Titans, they added Tony Pollard, they added Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, a lot of skill positions. L'Jarius Sneed they got from the Chiefs. They also added Sebastian Joseph Day, Kenneth Murray, and Mason Rudolph. I don't know why I included Mason Rudolph because dude shouldn't be in the league. They lost Derrick Henry, Sean Murphy Bunting, Danico Autry, and Azeez Al-Shaair. They re-signed Morgan Cox. Then they drafted J.C. Latham, who's one of the best guards in the draft. They also drafted Tavondre Sweat and Cedric Gray. I gave them a B+. Losing Derrick Henry's huge, but Derrick Henry's older. Adding Tony Pollard, who's an okay back, will be good for them. But they also added Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and Tyler Boyd to go along with Treylon Burks. So they have a very good wide receiver room. L'Jarius Sneed's one of the best safeties in the league, or corners, not safeties. One of the best corners in the league. The Titans are going to be good, and they are going to compete for the AFC South title with the Texans because the Colts and Jaguars are clearly underneath all of them. I gave them a B+. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Also, Will Levis got a great year. For everybody who doubted him, he's good. The Jaguars, they added Mac Jones, Gabe Davis, Darnell Savage, Mitch Morse, and Eric Armstead. They lost Darius Williams and Calvin Ridley. They re-signed Josh Allen, which is big. Not the Josh Allen you're thinking of. The better Josh Allen. They drafted Brian Thomas Jr., great wide receiver. Mason Smith, Jarian Jones, and Javon Foster. I give them a B-. They didn't do much. They added Mac Jones, who, hell, with how Trevor's looked, he could be the starter. And, Trevor will get injured anyway, because he always does. Gabe Davis, solid wide receiver. He does not make up for losing Calvin Ridley. Darnell Savage is a very off and on player. Trust me, I know, because he played for the Packers. He's not the best safety. I gave him a B- because they added some. They didn't get terribly worse, but they didn't get better. Next week, it'll be the Chiefs and the Raiders, both of which did not have very good offseason. The Raiders may be my first F, basically because they overpaid for a QB who sucks. And on to the association. Germany eliminated Greece behind 18 points from Franz Wagner and 13 points from Dennis Schroeder. Of course, Greece got in. They finished 1-3. Somehow they made it. Giannis could not carry the team because he was in fact carrying the team because he's the only good player from Greece. Serbia came back to eliminate Australia in overtime. Nikola Jokic, 21 points, 14 boards, 8 assists. Shout out to my boy Patty Mills, Spurs legend Patty Mills. He had 26 points for Australia. Olympics Patty is just a different beast. I was really hoping Australia would win because I'm pulling for my boy Patty Mills. But, now I can only root for one more team because one team has a Spurs player, and that's France. France eliminated Canada. They really dominated the game until the fourth quarter. Canada tried to make a run. They had 22 points from Guerschon Yabusele, 20 points from Isaiah Cordinier, and 15 from Evan Fournier, who came off the bench. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 27 for Canada. The big story was Jamal Murray, who has been absolutely terrible. He is shooting 29% from the field in the Olympics. He was really bad. And Dylan Brooks shot a whole 1 for 8 in this game. But I will say Dylan Brooks did a great job guarding Wemby. Rudy Gobert did not play at all in this game because they didn't need him. Canada's very small, and Rudy Gobert can't do anything besides guard the rim. USA eliminated Brazil behind 18 from Devin Booker. Kevin Durant scored 11 and became the USA's all-time leading scorer of any basketball team. He passed former WNBA player for the women's team. I should know her name because she's one of the best players ever.
Sue?
No.
Twasi?
No.
Kansas?
No. She's not active. I don't know. For Brazil, Bruno Caboclo scored 30. This was not a close game. The Jazz signed Lauri Markkanen to a 5-year, $238 million extension. Many people did not believe he would sign with them or re-sign with them. He did, and the big part about this, he was the biggest trade rumor of the offseason. He now cannot be traded until next offseason because when you sign an extension in the offseason, you have to give it 6 months. 6 months from now is past the trade deadline, so he cannot be traded until next offseason. So that means that the Warriors and the Spurs will not be looking to get him until next offseason. So just like football, the NBA offseason is basically over. I will be giving 3 teams a week, which leads us up to the final week before the season starts, October 22nd. So I will be doing 3 teams a week. I'm going in order of how they finished the regular season last year. Standings. I'm doing the East first, then we'll do the West. So the first one is the Boston Celtics. They added nobody. They lost nobody. They drafted Baylor Shireman. They still had a great offseason because they kept everybody around. Of course, they signed Derek White to an extension. They signed Jason Tatum to a record extension. I gave them an A. They did not need to do anything because the Celtics are the best team in the league. And I hate saying that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
The Knicks, they added Mikal Bridges. They lost Isaiah Hartenstein, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Alec Burks. They drafted Pacome Dadier, Tyler Kolek, and Kevin McCullough Jr. I gave the Knicks an A-. I somewhat like their move for Mikal Bridges. They gave up a lot of future draft compensation. If it was just based on that, this would definitely be a C. I think it's going to hurt them losing Isaiah Hartenstein because they only have one other center. 2 other centers on the roster. One of them is Jericho Sims, who never plays because, frankly, he's not that good. And the other is Mitchell Robinson, who can't stay healthy. So they definitely need to find a new center. Walker Kessler. That's all I got to say. Should have already been done. I love their draft. Pacome Dadier is a great talent. He's from overseas. I believe he's from France. Tyler Kolek, solid point guard. And the biggest steal, in my opinion, of this draft is Kevin McCullough Jr. They add another Josh Hart with McCullough. They just signed him to a contract. Hopefully he actually gets playing time with the Knicks stacked roster. So I gave him an A-. The Bucks. Bucks had a very bad offseason. They added Taurean Prince, Dylan Wright, and Gary Trent Jr. They lost Malik Beasley and Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley, of course, went to play overseas. This is a huge loss for them because Patrick Beverley, although nobody likes him, no fan likes him, he is a great locker room piece. He is a great leader. And without him, they don't really have a leader because, Giannis is somewhat of a leader. Dame for sure is not a leader. Chris Middleton's not a leader because, the dude's always hurt. and he's not from this planet.
He's an alien.
I gave the Bucks a C minus. If they didn't add Gary Trent Jr., this probably would have been an F. Yeah. Their draft was terrible. I mean, they drafted A.J. Johnson in the first round, who shouldn't have went in the first round. They drafted Tyler Smith, who I thought they'd take in the first round. They got him in the second round. He's not going to play much because he's going to be in the G League. The Bucks, they're not going to be that good next year unless Dame and Giannis figure it out. And if, Doc Rivers actually figures out how to be a good coach, which he never will because he sucks. So I gave him a C minus. You agree with both the Knicks and the Bucks since I didn't ask you about the Knicks.
Yeah.
Next week, I will do the Cavs, Magic, and Pacers. 3 teams that, one of them did a lot, and the Magic, the other 2 did not. Moving on to baseball, Blake Snell threw his first career no-hitter against your Cincinnati Reds. The White Sox ended their 21-game losing streak with a win over the Athletics. It's finally over. I honestly thought they weren't going to win another game this season.
Yeah.
Because, my God, they're terrible. Jackson Holliday, since being called up, he's been on fire. He's hit 3 home runs. He's batting over 300. He has 8 RBIs. Just proves the point that they called him up too soon.
Yeah.
Framber Valdez was 1 out away from his second career no-hitter last night until Corey Seager came up and hit a 2-run bomb. Yeah. The Yankees lead the Orioles by half a game. The Guardians lead the Twins by 4 games. The Mariners lead the Astros by half a game. The Phillies lead the Braves by 6.5 games, but the Phillies have lost 7 of their last 10. They got a big one over the Dodgers last night. Brewers lead the Cardinals by 6 games, and the Dodgers, who are 5-5 over their last 10, lead the Padres by only 4 games now. The Diamondbacks have cut it to 4.5. Both the Padres and the Diamondbacks have won 8 of their last 10, while the Dodgers have just kind of fallen. The Dodgers are actually 4-6 in their last 10. I forgot. I added that today because I made this last night. That was before they lost. Damn West Coast games. You have anything for baseball?
Mm-mm. Baseball.
I don't think anybody made their debut. No. Moving on to other sports, Scotty Scheffler won gold in the Olympics. Congratulations to Scotty. He was very emotional afterwards. The Wyndham Championship is this weekend. This is the last golf tournament before the FedEx Cup playoffs start next week. Let's go. NASCAR is back this weekend. They will be at Richmond. Who wins?
Denny Hamlin.
I hate you. I'm also going Denny Hamlin's home track. It's the best track, besides Pocono. I'm also going Denny Hamlin. It would be nice to actually have something other than the Olympics and baseball.
Yeah.
USA leads the Olympics in total medals with 88. They have 24 golds, which also lead. China is second in both. They have 61 medals and 23 golds. Yeah. The Olympics wrap up, I believe, closing ceremonies is Sunday. I think. I know the championship game for basketball is Sunday during the day. So it may be Monday. I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. I'm ready for it to be over. So yeah, do you have anything else? I thought this would be a lot longer of an episode, but it's not. We're going to keep it under 15 minutes, because there's not much going on. Next week will be the same, except no Olympic coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Come back here next week. Enjoy this short episode, because in a few weeks, they won't be that short. Peace.